Heyo everyone, happy Friday and welcome to the Friday Free Talk. It's summer 2023, or as I like to call it, backlog season 2023. It feels like all of the big video game releases are usually saved for the fall, so I like to use summer to go through my backlog. Today I just wanted to highlight a few games that I've been playing and a few others that I plan on playing before all of the major releases in a few months. Let me start out by talking about a game that I just keep coming back to and I honestly have no idea why. Battlefield 5. This game got a bunch of hate at release, and I get it. It was marketed really weird. There was that weird trailer with the lady with the prosthetic limbs and stuff, plus all of the microtransactions that EA were pushing during this time, so I get why it was hated. That being said, this game in 2023 is a blast to play. I find it actually quite immersive and engaging, honestly one of the best Battlefield games. Despite all of the hate that it got initially, this game definitely feels more like Battlefield than Battlefield 2042, which is another game I've been jumping back into occasionally, normally when they roll out a new update or a new season, just to kinda see what's been added. It's cool that they're reworking the maps and class system in 2042, but I don't know, it still just doesn't really have that Battlefield feel to me. At least not the way that Battlefield 5 does. This game is interesting to me because it feels like the perfect blend of classic Battlefield stuff while also implementing some new things that were understandably questioned when first showcased. For example, I actually really like the use of med packs in this game. You get one med pack when you spawn in, which you can use at any point. This instantly starts healing your character, but it can only be used once. If you're a medic though, you get unlimited uses and can restock your teammates if they run out of med packs. I found that this made the teamwork aspect of the game more important, and I really like that. The same thing goes for support classes with ammo pouches. Just like older Battlefield games, they can restock friendly players. Another thing I love in this game is the building aspect. It is so cool to be able to dig a trench, or place sandbags for cover, or build an AA gun. It's not like Minecraft or Fortnite where you can just build stuff wherever you want. Instead, you can build certain things in certain areas that are already predetermined by the game. I really hope they bring this back in the future because I found it incredibly cool. Other than that, I just think that this is a really solid Battlefield game and one of my favorite shooters right now. Speaking of shooters, I've also been dipping in and out of Modern Warfare 2. It's fun, I just haven't really been in the mood to play Call of Duty lately. If I do play it, I'll usually just hop into shipment 24/7 and play for a little bit. I don't know, I haven't really been feeling COD lately. I still think Modern Warfare 2 is a good entry into the franchise, I'm not really sure what to expect right now. Apparently they're gonna release a new COD this fall, but we haven't even heard anything yet and it's already August. I don't know if that's gonna be Modern Warfare 3 or if it's gonna be something else. It feels way too soon for Modern Warfare 3, so at this point, I'd rather them just keep Modern Warfare 2 support for another year like they originally planned, and maybe just release some paid DLC or something. You know, like they did in the olden days. I don't know. I don't even really play COD enough anymore to care, honestly. Another franchise that I found myself playing in spurts is the Forza Horizon series. I re-downloaded Forza Horizon 4 a few weeks ago just because I wanted to cruise around and vibe to some music, and I was reminded of just how great these games are. Besides Mario Kart, I don't really play any racing games like at all, yet the Forza Horizon games have managed to suck me in and just be completely immersed into this world they've built. It feels like you're rewarded for everything you do, whether that be winning a race, doing a sick jump, or just exploring the map. You're rewarded with XP and money that you can use to buy new vehicles or houses or customization options. It is just such a good video game. And Forza Horizon 5 just expands on that, and I love it. It's not trying to reinvent the steering wheel here. Just be bigger and better at what they already are, and sometimes I think that's all you need to do. Like I said, I don't play racing games, but the Forza franchise has definitely got me excited for Forza Motorsport this fall. I know it's not going to be a huge open world title like the Horizon series, but I've just been so impressed with the Forza games that I have played that I'm willing to go out of my comfort zone a little bit to try another title from this developer. Here's a controversial take that might get me some hate. I've been playing through The Witcher 3, and I just don't know if I can finish it, man. Don't get me wrong, it is a great game. I think that the world is incredibly immersive and the story is engaging. I just can't find myself being able to commit to the game, and I have no idea why. I don't know if it's just a disconnection I have with Geralt, or if I can't get fully into the gameplay, or if I'm just struggling to keep up with all of the quests and information and items being thrown in my face all the time. Like, I love going through the side quests. Honestly, I think that I might be more interested in the side adventures than I am the main storyline. But it feels like whenever I finish one of those side quests, I just kind of dread going back to the main story for some reason. It kind of feels like a chore to me, and I couldn't tell you why. I guess for whatever reason, The Witcher 3 doesn't give me this organic desire to explore the open world and try new things. It definitely keeps me interested with all the incredible side quests and interesting locations along the way, but I don't really have any inclination to go out and explore outside of the quest line. I don't think I really jive with the combat all that well either, unfortunately. I don't know, man. It's a great game, and I can totally see why people love it. I don't really think it's for me. Maybe next summer I'll go back to this game and try to play it again, and I'll have a different perspective. After all, I just completed Cyberpunk 2077 a few months ago, and that was a game that I hated at launch, albeit for different reasons. But for real, I didn't like God of War 2018 when I first tried to play through it. Then I picked it up again and restarted a couple years later, and I played through it obsessively. So I'm still holding on to hope that I can enjoy the Witcher 3 experience that everyone else has. Moving on, I replayed some older NetherRealm games this summer to get me ready for Mortal Kombat 1, and boy, let me tell you, I am so ready. I replayed Mortal Kombat 10, 11, and Injustice 1 and 2. God, these games are so fun. So, Mortal Kombat. I love the lore in these games. The controls and fighting mechanics have basically been perfected at this point. Also, the sound design has like this cinematic presentation to it, and I think it's incredible. To me, that's basically NetherRealm's like staple, their signature thing. I'm not super big into fighting games, but I love what Mortal Kombat does. Just a short, linear story with different characters to play as throughout. These games are basically like 10-hour movies with gameplay fights sprinkled throughout, and I honestly have no problem with it. The way that Mortal Kombat 11 ends sets up Mortal Kombat 1 perfectly, so if you've never played a Mortal Kombat before, I definitely recommend Mortal Kombat 1 as a starting point because it certainly seems as if it's going to be a soft reboot for the franchise. I'm really excited to see what the game brings, both story-wise and gameplay-wise. Going back to the Injustice games, when are we going to get a third one? Basically everything I said about the Mortal Kombat games applies to these, only you sub out the Mortal Kombat fighters for DC characters. It's basically like a video game wet dream for me. I freaking love the DC universe, and NetherRealm has such a good grasp on these characters. I know the Superman is evil trope has kind of run its course at this point, but the Injustice games do a really good job at showing just how devastating and terrifying an evil Clark Kent could be. Not to mention when we get flashes of him being good again in the second game. It just makes it that much more painful to see him revert back to being evil. I would absolutely love a third installment of this game, or even just NetherRealm tackling a different DC story arc. It doesn't have to be Injustice. They clearly have a passion for this universe and make great games, so I don't see a reason to not let them go crazy with another entry. Okay, last game that I've replayed this summer, well, kinda in the spring mostly, but it dipped a bit into summer, and that is Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. These games have been talked about to death, so I'll just say that I love them both dearly. I think Spider-Man PS4 had the better story and just overall content, but Miles Morales had better gameplay and swinging. I am really looking forward to playing Spider-Man 2 this fall. Okay, as for games that I'm currently playing, besides hopping into the occasional Minecraft or Rocket League session, I just started Final Fantasy 16 and it's going okay, I guess. I should preface this by mentioning that I've never played a Final Fantasy game before. I know that this one is different from the original recipe Final Fantasy games, but I still feel as though I'd enjoy it more if I had a better grasp on the franchise. That being said, I have a ton of respect for Square Enix for taking this legendary franchise into a new direction. I'm sure there was a lot of skepticism within the company to make this leap, but it seems to be paying off. It looks like a ton of people are really enjoying this game, so good for them, for real. I can definitely understand why people love this game. The presentation is unbelievably cool, the acting is fantastic, and the game seems to be very well polished. At least I haven't ran into any real performance issues. Oh, and honestly, one of my favorite things about it, the active time lore feature. There is this sweet feature where if you hold down the touchpad at like any point in the game, it brings up this little menu that has information on everything in that scene. It shows character descriptions, location info, and just like general story stuff. It's kind of like that Amazon thing where if you pause the movie, it will show what actors are currently on the screen, only this is way better. Like I said, this is my first Final Fantasy, and having this feature has really helped me to get into the story more. I know all of these games are kind of their own individual thing, but there's a lot going on here, and having the active time lore has been a godsend. I really hope other developers are taking note of this and thinking about adding it into their games. It's a really simple but great mechanic. Anyway, great game, just not really for me. At least not right now. I'm gonna keep playing through it and hope that something clicks for me. I just find that the combat is a bit boring, which I understand because they're trying to switch from turn-based gameplay to like Devil May Cry action, so you gotta ease your fan base into that, but it still feels a bit off to me. Maybe it gets better. Let me know what you guys think of the new Final Fantasy if you're playing it. Another game that I just started is Pikmin 4. What a fantastic game, for real. This whole franchise has always kind of been a hidden gem, but it feels like with Pikmin 4, Nintendo is doing a soft reboot and just trying to capitalize on the Switch's success to propel this series into the mainstream. I mean, now you can play every single Pikmin game on one console. If that isn't Nintendo clearly trying to get people invested in this franchise again, then I don't know what is. If you've never played a Pikmin, I'd highly recommend starting with the fourth one, actually. It's easily the best looking one, there is a ton of content, and it does a really good job of teaching you the basic mechanics of the series. The co-op isn't as good as Pikmin 3, but since that game is relatively new and also on the Switch, I'd say start with Pikmin 4, and then, if you like it, play Pikmin 3 with a friend. It is a seriously good time, and I'm really happy that this franchise is getting the love that it deserves. While we're on the topic of the Switch, the last game I wanted to mention was The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. At this point, the game speaks for itself, the sequel to Breath of the Wild that is somehow even bigger in scope. The sheer amount of time that I've spent in this game is insane, and I still feel like I have so much to see and do. Seriously, I have over 100 hours into this game, and I still feel like I haven't even gotten close to experiencing all there is to offer. If you want a game that you can just get lost in for the next few months until Starfield or Spider-Man 2 comes out, then I cannot recommend this game enough. Honestly, I had to put it down in order to get through some of the other games in my backlog. Otherwise, I would be playing Tears of the Kingdom exclusively for like the rest of my life. Anyway, if I managed to get through all of these games, I picked up a few more titles that were on sale this summer, including Sleeping Dogs, Mad Max, and Dredge. Hopefully, I can get to them before the big boys come out this fall, but we'll see. I want to hear from you guys. What are you playing this summer? Are there some games that you've gone back to replay? Are there any titles on your backlog that you haven't got around to yet but are looking forward to? What games would you recommend to me or others? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys as always, and I will catch you on the next one.